Look like Team USA is forcing Caitlin Clark to change her infamous 22 number to a new one. Guys, for this one here,
Sue Bird recently had an unexpected public collapse. According to reports, Caitlin Clark threatened to quit Team USA if they refused to allow her to wear her famous number 22. The basketball community is utterly stunned by Sue's response. The issue is rapidly becoming worse, despite the managing director of Team USA's best efforts to contain the damage. This could be the largest issue that women's basketball has encountered in a long time. Please let me know in the comments before we discuss Sue Bird's response and what Caitlin is believed to have said behind closed doors. Would you leave Team USA over a number if you were Caitlin? Because the current situation has the potential to permanently alter USA basketball's future.
Because we ultimately know she was snubbed from the cover of Team USA. And not only is they snubbing her, the disrespect is continuing because it's looking like Team USA is forcing Caitlin Clark to change her number. Now, this article has come out.
Team USA basketball has triggered a full-blown crisis of its own making by forcing Caitlin Clark, the undisputed face of the sport, to give up her iconic number 22 for the December training camp, prompting her firm response that she simply wouldn't attend without her number. Now Sue Bird is reportedly scrambling to understand how things spiraled so badly, because this isn't just a jersey dispute. It's being viewed as a calculated act of disrespect toward the player who has single-handedly drawn millions of new fans to women's basketball. Telling the biggest name in the game to abandon her most recognizable symbol has left fans and analysts questioning whether Team USA truly understands the value and impact of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a very creative person. I was born on January 22nd, so it's what I went with when I was about 5 years old. So
The bombshell landed just days before Team USA's crucial training camp in North Carolina, scheduled for December 12th to 14th. What should have been a celebration of elite talent, featuring stars like Paige Buchers, Juju Watkins, and others, was instantly overshadowed by an unprecedented and frankly absurd controversy that could push the biggest name in the sport to walk away entirely. Reports revealed a stunning directive that would force Clark to give up the number that has become inseparable from her historic college run and her rising dominance in the WNBA. The decision's timing makes it even more bewildering, arriving at the exact moment her global popularity is exploding, which only intensifies the outrage of her fiercely loyal and rapidly growing fan base. Now, those supporters are urging Caitlin to hold firm and refuse to compromise on something so essential to her identity and brand.
Case to be made that Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark, number 22, is the most recognizable number in women's sports right now. There is no argument to be made. There's no case to be made. Caitlin Clark, number 22, is the most recognizable number for any woman athlete in the world.
Make no mistake about it. Caitlin Clark's number 22 is not merely a jersey number. It is the most instantly recognizable identifier in all of women's sports today. There is absolutely no debate, no counterargument, and no angle that diminishes this truth. From her record-breaking run at Iowa to her explosive impact with the Indiana Fever, the number 22 has become permanently woven into her identity. Fans recognize it from the highest seats in every arena and on screens across the world. For the millions who follow her, it represents far more than a stitched numeral. It's a legacy unfolding in real time. Her entire brand, her remarkable rise, and the powerful narrative surrounding her career are all deeply anchored to that number. It reflects the fearless deep-range threes, the almost supernatural court vision, and the unbreakable competitive fire that has captured an audience far beyond traditional basketball fandom.
To wear number 17 at Team USA training camp on December 24th. News broke that Caitlin Clark will be taking a part in the training, which that's what we talked about at the beginning of the video. Now, this right here this came out this came out on the 24th. So these are the numbers, man. So head on over to Twitter and check this out real quick. So this is what was released right here. It says Lauren Betts. Hold on. Here's the ages. Where's the number? Here we go. Right here. So these are the numbers. Caitlin Clark. Let me blow this all the way up, man. I want to blow this all the way up so y'all can see this. So as y'all can see there, man, how did Caitlin Clark number will be changed? So who's wearing 22? Or if you guys remember, Michael Jordan wore number 45 in the Olympics. Could Caitlin, because it don't look like no one's wearing number 22. It don't look like no one's wearing number 22.
Caitlin Clark has become so closely tied to the number 22 that it mirrors the way Michael Jordan is eternally connected to 23 and Wayne Gretzky to 99. Forcing her to abandon it at this stage of her career feels like an intentional attempt to weaken the powerful identity she has built. It's a baffling, head-scratching decision that leaves everyone questioning the real motive, unless the motive is exactly what it appears to be. An effort to reassert control over a player who has grown larger than the organization itself. What makes it even more infuriating for her supporters is that this isn't the first time USA Basketball has downplayed her extraordinary impact. Earlier this year, she was conspicuously and shockingly left off the Olympic roster, a snub that stunned fans and analysts given her immense global influence and the massive viewership she brings. This recurring pattern of overlooking or even undermining her rise has only intensified speculation that there's a deeper agenda at work, perhaps a reluctance within the system to fully embrace the revolutionary force she has become. When you look at the facts, none of this adds up unless you consider that Team USA might actually feel threatened by just how influential Caitlin Clark has become. So what number were they trying to force her to wear? Officially, she was expected to switch to number 17 for the upcoming training camp. 17. On its own, it's just a number, but the significance lies in what it isn't, 22. Forcing this change, especially given the global brand and recognition she brings, raises serious questions. Is this an intentional power play to assert authority, or a tone-deaf decision that completely misses the cultural weight of her identity? Either way, the message to Clark is unmistakable. We're in charge, and your popularity doesn't grant you exceptions. Reports indicate her response was unequivocal. Then I don't need to be here. What makes the situation even more maddening for her fans is that no one else on the Team USA roster is wearing 22. The number isn't claimed by a veteran or another star. It's simply being left empty. That single fact shifts the story from a minor roster hiccup to what feels like a deliberate, almost symbolic snub. This comes across as a clear act of sidelining the most influential and celebrated player of her generation. If no one else is wearing 22, why should Caitlin be forced to change? The reasoning simply doesn't exist, and any justification falls apart. That's why she reportedly drew a firm line in the sand. Now Sue Bird, as Team USA's managing director, is left managing the fallout. Entrusted with building the future of the program and shaping the next generation of American basketball dominance, she instead faces a crisis of the team's own creation. Expecting your biggest star to compromise on something so central to her identity was always destined to backfire. Sources say Sue is scrambling behind the scenes, trying to find a way to keep Caitlin on board without overturning the questionable policy that caused the issue. But the truth is, Caitlin holds all the leverage. She doesn't need Team USA, they need her. She's already a champion, a record breaker, a game changer, and the most marketable figure in women's basketball. Why would she sacrifice her brand for an organization unwilling to respect it? Olympic accolades? She doesn't need them. International exposure? She's already excelled at every stage. The prestige of representing her nation loses its luster when the governing body treats you as expendable. Meanwhile, what does Team USA stand to lose if Caitlin opts out? Everything. They forfeit their top attraction, the player who commands mainstream attention for women's basketball, the athlete who fills arenas and drives television ratings, the face of the upcoming generation. Sue Bird understands this, which is why reports suggest she's scrambling behind the scenes. This controversy highlights just how little control the organization truly has. Beyond the immediate conflict, it underscores the wider challenges faced by women in sports, particularly in the WNBA. The fight for fair compensation, improved working conditions, and recognition for extraordinary achievements. Consider this: when the sport's brightest, most celebrated star is disrespected, the message reverberates across the league, sending a chilling signal to every player that even excellence doesn't guarantee respect. This controversy exposes not only immediate frustrations, but also the entrenched structural challenges that continue to affect women's basketball. Even amid its recent surge in visibility, ongoing debates over the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement and the looming threat of a lockout highlight just how persistent these issues remain. Players are increasingly vocal about feeling undervalued by team management and governing bodies, pointing to the stark gap between their contributions to the sport's growth and the recognition and compensation they actually receive. This forced number change isn't an isolated occurrence. It's part of a broader pattern of underappreciation for female athletes. Competitors are weary of the constant struggle for fundamental respect, and when Caitlin Clark, the sport's most prominent figure, reportedly refuses to compromise, it sends a bold message to everyone watching. You don't have to accept mistreatment simply because it comes from a prestigious organization. It's worth noting, though, that Caitlin isn't the only player to wear 22. Veteran stars like A. Wilson and rising talents such as Cameron Brink also carry the number with pride. Historically, discussions around jersey numbers for top players focused on moments like All-Star games, where the conversation revolved around who might graciously defer when both stars were present. It was never about stripping one of the sport's biggest names of her signature number without reason. Last year, the potential clash between Clark and Wilson never materialized because Clark missed the All-Star game due to injury, avoiding any real conflict over the number. Now, it seems USA Basketball acted prematurely, creating a problem that didn't exist and pushing Clark to adopt a new number without justification. They are learning quickly that she has no interest in making unnecessary compromises. When the official training camp roster was released, the proof was undeniable. Caitlin Clark listed with number 17. The message is clear. Team USA attempted to force a change on its brightest star, prompting her to reportedly threaten withdrawal, while Sue Bird scrambles behind the scenes to contain the fallout. The question now is simple. Should Caitlin stand firm or yield? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit like and subscribe for more updates. This saga is far from over.